I feel very weird doing my intro in front of a person, so this video doesn't have an intro. We're doing Am I the Asshole?
Coward.
I am, in fact, a coward. Anyways, am I the asshole for refusing to give back my family heirloom? A few years ago, my mom gave me a beautiful golden bracelet that originally belonged to my grandma. It had been passed down to my mom, and my mom told me she wanted me to have it because I was the responsible one. I'm the oldest of her children and would appreciate it the most. I was honored and have worn it regularly since. Now, my younger sister, 22, is getting married. My mom decided she wants to take the bracelet back so she can give it to my sister as a wedding gift. I was shocked because, as far as I knew, it belonged to me now. My mom keeps insisting that it was never meant to be a permanently mine thing, just in my possession until it was time to pass it on, but she never said that before. I refused to give it back, saying that if she wanted it to go to my sister, she shouldn't have given it to me in the first place. My sister is now upset because she thinks I'm being selfish and hoarding the bracelet out of spite. Most of our family also thinks I'm bitter towards my sister because she's getting married and I'm unmarried, but that's not the case at all. I'm happy for her and I just want to keep the bracelet as it was given to me first. Am I the asshole?
No.
Yeah, just not even like a little.
This may be the autistics in us. But things should be fair.
The top comment is, my spidey senses tell me your younger sister's the golden child.
Just a little bit.
The immediate response, your spidey senses would be correct.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for not making an effort with my friend's baby while her and I were in a fight? I don't know what that means. Oh, there's a lot here.
Oh my.
I, female 25, am child-free. So maybe there is some aspect of my parenthood that I'm missing here. My friend Stacy, 26 female, had her first baby about 9 months ago. Haley, Stacy, and I had some tension brewing in our friendship since she was pregnant. In the past, my time and energy had been very much available at Stacy. At times, I felt that she took advantage of my empathy and willingness to bend over backwards for her. She lived about an hour away and was always in some form of drama or crisis.
Well, I do mean to interrupt, but I'm guessing at the end of this, I'm making a prediction here. She wants her to raise her child, pretty much, just like watching it all the time and everything. And while they're having a really bad fight, she's not volunteering to come over there and do that as much.
That's kind of where I drove up to her nearly every single weekend. And the times when is there a fucking tree crashing down on top of us?
No, my controller committed suicide.
Times when I told her I couldn't for one reason or another.
Not the bucket! Okay. Sorry. I thought it went in the bucket.
Oh. When I told her I couldn't for one reason or another, she would beg and usually guilt me with things like, I'm in such a dark place, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I'll do if I'm alone, I really need this, blah 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 blah. She also did a lot of passive-aggressive shutting down from the conversation when she didn't get what she wanted, leading me to always give in and put my own needs aside. This went on for years. I grew tired of this pattern and started therapy, where I learned to set healthy boundaries, speak up, and prioritize myself when it was important. These changes led me to cut the weekends I spent with her in half. I was in the process of buying a house, starting a new job, and a master's program. On top of all the family issues I have, I knew that she saw the change in our friendship and wasn't happy about it, but thought that with time she would understand and adjust. She never did, and insinuated that I changed because I didn't support her pregnancy or because my partner was manipulating me into not spending time with her.
Damn.
I explained to her many times that this wasn't the case and that I'm doing all I can to be there for her. Things came to a head when I had a health scare. I told her about it, and the next day she tried to call me. I was on the phone with someone else and couldn't answer, but texted her immediately after to let her know and make sure that everything was okay. She once again got upset because I didn't answer right away. I had it. And on the very rare occasion that I asked for support from her, she had to make it all about herself. I didn't usually call her out, but this time I did. I told her I didn't understand why she had an attitude. She said thanks for making me cry, and then didn't respond to me for over a month. Then, when she finally did, she didn't ask about my health. She didn't apologize or even bother explaining. She instead accused me of using her daughter as a pawn by not acknowledging her. She said that Haley didn't deserve absolutely no effort. just because her and I were in a fight, and that it was so messed up that I would add Haley into the equation. I'm so confused. Haley had nothing to do with the fight.
I got the mask on.
Okay. And Stacy was the one who had ignored me for over a month. What was I supposed to do in this scenario? I can't text a 9-month-old or just show up at their house. I'm genuinely lost. Can someone please explain this to me? Am I the asshole?
No.
Yeah, not at all. Like, there's no way this person is the asshole. Also,
Hey, I'm not gonna be your slave anymore. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. You
it's not your kid, you know?
Exactly.
See what the very top comment is. Her old manipulative tricks don't work anymore, so she is trying new ones. You do know, don't you, that most friendships, even healthy ones, end over time? People just grow apart, move in different directions, or in this case, one friend finally gets fed up with the other's bullshit. You don't owe her anything, so walk away completely and avoid her entirely. I don't think that person is the asshole.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend my dad is dead?
Okay, yeah, keep it going.
I, 26 female, lost my mother to cancer when I was 8 and have always had an absent father. I only found out who he was when I was 13, and even then he did not want custody of me, forcing me to stay in a foster system until I was 18. Over my whole life, I had about 5 conversations with him, give or take. He's like a stranger to me. He appears once in a blue moon to ask for money or something along those lines, and it doesn't really bother me anymore. I've just learned to accept it now, but I don't like talking about it, so I avoid the conversation with people I usually just say both of my parents are dead. This leads me to a year and a half ago when I had just started dating my boyfriend. And like usual, I had just told him my parents were dead, but the other day my dad showed up at the door. I still don't know how he knows where I live, and asked for $100, except my boyfriend was there. And he obviously found out my dad was, in fact, not dead. This led to a long conversation with him that night where I explained the whole situation. He said this was a breach of trust between us since I lied about my dad, and that he needed some space to rethink our relationship. But he doesn't think he will leave me. I feel so shitty, and that I should have told him earlier. But I am going to be honest, I just didn't think so. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend texted me 5 minutes ago asking to talk. We are going to have a full in-depth conversation tomorrow at work, and I'll update again then.
No?
Yeah, you're just not the asshole. Yeah, you're just not the asshole in that situation.
The video ends when we find an asshole, apparently.
This video will continue until we find... You know what? Here's what I'll do. Instead of doing hot, I'll do top of the past year.
Smart.
Because these are going to be the big ones. Maybe we'll do top of all time at another point, man.
Yeah.
No,
If this video gets 1 like...
If this video... What's an actual like goal for me? I'm trying to think with how many... If this video gets 20 likes, then the sequel will come out the very next day.
Man, you don't know how to bargain at all. Go for 25 at least now.
I don't even know if it'll get 25 views.
Have faith.
Am I the asshole for spending my son's university fund on a trip to Europe to drink beer like I always threatened, instead of giving it to his stepbrother after he passed away? Alrighty then, let's get into this. My son was smarter than me. I almost requested a paternity test because he was so goddamn intelligent. That's a joke. My ex and I divorced when he was about 12. She remarried when I was 14. I did when he was 16. I had an RESP set up for him. That's an education fund here in Canada. And as long as he went for post-secondary education, he could use the money for anything. I always told him that I was okay with him not going to university, that I could use the money I had saved up for him to go to Belgium and buy some beer from monks that only allow you to buy 1 case. He knew I was joking, and he always played along. He wouldn't let me get his goat. Don't know what that means.
Get him with the joke. Make him above the joke.
When he got accepted to McGill, it was the proudest moment of my life. I took him out for a beer to celebrate his achievement and mourn the loss of my trip to Europe. My son was struck and killed by a drunk driver in March. I'm dealing with it, my ex is dealing with it, my wife has been nothing but my rock in this, she's holding me. I was dealing with the funeral arrangements and everything when my ex came to me to talk about his money. She knew he had a scholarship and was just going to use the money for living expenses and an emergency fund. She asked me what I was going to do with it. I said what I was going to do, what I always wanted to do. I was going to go to Europe to drink a beer. She asked if she could have it for her stepson. I thought about it and said no. Her husband is a decent enough person, but he made it clear that he wasn't responsible for any expenses of my son beyond food and shelter. Like I said, he is decent. I said I was not going to do that. I was going to go drink a beer in my son's honor. She says I'm wasting thousands of dollars, and I guess I am. I have to give back the government portion of the fund, but I don't care. My ex thinks I'm being stupid and irresponsible, wasting my son's money like this. I don't care. My son would laugh his ass off if he knew what I actually did.
Yeah, not the asshole.
No, not at all. This guy is just, not the problem. Not the asshole. Sorry for your loss.
Ex-wife's stepkid.
Yeah.
There's not a name for that for a reason.
Yeah.
Also, the reason I started giggling halfway through that is because I noticed I have a goddamn chrome dome now.
You do, in fact, have the
chrome. It's so shiny. I want to fucking cut it off.
Something I just noticed, in, the number of people in the Reddit, 1,640 people judging you right now.
Yeah. I love when the things disgusting. Big haul and what have you.
Am I the asshole for telling my dad there will be no making up for missing my high school graduation? Alrighty. We have dad issues. Oh my god, there's a lot. Alright, let's get into it.
Let's buckle in, baby.
I'm 18, graduating high school at the end of the month. My dad dropped the bomb on me 2 nights ago that his stepdaughter, 14, has an award ceremony for some competition she entered. And won in another state. On that same day. And that she really wants him to be there. He told me he couldn't possibly make it to both, and since his wife and their children together will be going, he needs to be there too. He told me he would make it up to me and we could celebrate another time. I still live with him, not for much longer. My mom died when I was 7, and my dad got married again when I was 11 or 12. It's been a few years anyway. His stepdaughter never knew her biological dad, so my dad has always accepted her as his own. And he has prioritized her a lot in the last 5 to 6 years. Doesn't always show in the most obvious ways, but it can be felt. Father-son time was put on an indefinite hiatus, and instead, Dad told me we needed to include her in our time together. But he also spent time with just her for father-daughter time. I brought it up to my dad, and he just told me I wasn't exactly making an effort to be closer to her. So, he wanted us all to bond and didn't want me to just focus on my relationship with him. He has attended her dance things instead of my basketball games if they're on the same time. Doesn't matter if mine was known about first, he will still skip my stuff to go to hers. He will take us on family days. Whenever he and his wife says kids can choose, he picks her choices over mine. He claims it's because they will be the most fun for everyone, but really, he even says it afterwards, anything his little princess wants. Our refrigerator and our shower broke at the same time. His stepdaughter's birthday was coming up, so he took the money from my birthday fund to pay for that stuff, so that his stepdaughter would definitely get what she wanted. The Barbie house thing and the whole fashion set and blah 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 blah. I think my dad said $250. He didn't get all the money back by the time my birthday came around, so instead he bought me a $30 gift card for Steam when he had promised me a new monitor and a keyboard for my computer. That was a gift from my grandparents. When my dad told me he wouldn't be at my graduation to go support her, I told him there's no making up for that, and that he can forget about being included in my life going forward. He told me he would make it up to me, and I told him I will always come second to his little princess. I'm not going to be okay with that. I told him he's discarded me for the last time. Dad begged me to be reasonable, but I walked away. Then I invited both sets of grandparents who agreed to come. His wife told me I could have come with them and I didn't need to attend the ceremony, but could support my sister. I said her daughter's not my sister and I don't want to support their family anymore and I will be out of their hair soon. She called me selfish and told me that I can't deny her daughter a dad. Am I the asshole?
So, we're a little bit biased here. But fucking no!
Yeah, we don't have great dads. Like, bottom of the barrel dads.
Yeah. I assure you.
The top comment, not the asshole. Graduating high school is a big milestone. It's creditable that your dad wants to be there for his stepdaughter. He needs to maintain a balance, though. And I feel he should have made time for a once-in-a-lifetime thing for you. I hope you still enjoy your day, and many congratulations.
I didn't process any of that because I came to a realization. I apologize. It's not a realization that should be said on camera, but I think my dad sold me once. Anyways, continue.
Okay, then. I am not going to ask you to go in depth or explain it. Not going to happen, Bubba.
Good little repressed memories. They always pop up at the most random fucking times.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be sexist? Throwaway. So my husband comes from a traditional family. Mom is an SAHM. Father was a sole provider. Stay-at-home mom.
Oh, yeah.
I come from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He often more than pulled his weight at home and was engaged and present father and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch, at work/school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're DIYing the cleaning. Where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean and common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work, they hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and a mother, and they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life. When I'm a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. Typically get home at, what's that math? 10:15, 10:30, and we eat at 11. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about this, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as the wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table and ate. My husband and his parents served themselves. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point, and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and take better care of my home and children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on 35 grand to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be sexist. He looked hurt. I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. Am I the asshole? I'm going to answer quite quickly. Fuck no!
Not at all.
No way.
Was it the best wording? No. Was she the asshole? Also
No.
fucking no.
Completely valid and deserved crash out.
Yes.
100%.
Is she better than me? I want to smack the bitch. Fuck it.
I think
Right upside the goddamn head.
if she had the time to think about it, definitely something to say away from the kids.
Oh, very much.
However, I mean, the kids ain't dumb.
Yeah.
If any of the kids are over like 5 years old, they know Mama Mama the breadwinner. They know.
Yeah.
Top comment. Sucks the kid was there for it, but he deserves worse, not the asshole. Should have ordered only enough food for you and the kids.
Yeah, I thought that's what she had meant by dished up, but I guess...
I think she got it for her and the kids, and then the quote was like, my husband and the in-laws served themselves.
Yeah.
Like they just came in and took some food.
Okay, I was thinking that she had made them just go cook for themselves and shit.
God, we still haven't found an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, if we really need to end the video, I can always take off minutes.
Oh my gosh, I gotta itch my eyeball, but I'm trying to find one. Am I the asshole for telling my neighbor to grow up, get a life, and get the fuck over the fact that I painted my house a color he doesn't like? So the answer to this one's already no. There's no fucking way. I bought a house in a community without a homeowners association. I wanted my home to be my home, and that includes making it look the way that I want. I also chose a neighborhood that already has a fun, colorful houses, instead of just plain earth tones. I finally got to the point where I could repaint my house. I picked a soft peachy color with sage blue and soft dark pink accents. My eyes are itchy. Itchy eyes. Fun and colorful without being too out there. I think if you Google colors blue sage peach, you'll see a similar palette. My neighbor Paul fucking hates it, and has been complaining since we started the project. He also made his opinions known that he hates our front lawn. Lots of wildflowers, sunflowers, fun garden flags, and a little free library. Each and every time I've told him that I don't care, truly, I don't. And I've suggested a few times that he'd be happier in a homeowners association community that has control over everything and forces people into having earth-toned homes. Paul got angry when I suggested that and said he lived in his home for 15 years and shouldn't have to move. I told him, okay, well, you'll have to learn to live with a little color. Last weekend, I was putting in pavers that my niece and I had painted together. They're all things like ladybugs, turtles, birds, fun colors. I adore them, and my niece is so excited she gets to be a part of my home. Paul came over to complain yet again, saying it was all an eyesore, and my niece was here, so I just told him it's time for you to grow up, get the fuck over what I'm doing with my home. He got even pissier and told me that I have no right to talk to him like this. Do I know who I'm talking to? Etc. I told him to just go away and get a fucking life. If he has so much free time to bitch and moan about colorful houses, maybe he should get a hobby. He stormed off, calling me a nasty piece of work. My niece was cracking up on the side. For the record, no one in my family is uptight. We really don't care about cursing. I know some people still clutch their purse over it. She's 15. But I'm sure she says worse. Anyways, one of the other neighbors came to tell me that he's been flapping his yap about how disrespectful I am to talk to him like that. She told me that she knows he's a pain, but that he has been in the neighborhood forever and it's worth being nice to him. I don't know. Is telling him to get a life really a big deal? Am I the asshole?
No.
So far, every crash out...
You sound like a lovely lady.
Yeah. Every...
You sound fucking delightful, in fact.
Just, like... Everyone seems like they're not, in fact, the asshole.
Well, what are we searching by currently? Like, scrolling by?
Just top of the past year.
Top of the past year? The ones who are the asshole tend to get downvoted by people who don't...
Well, considering number 5 is an asshole. It's labeled as asshole, so the asshole doesn't mean the video's over, apparently. Am I the asshole for telling my mom she's an unwanted guest? My wife has had a stressful time at work and was looking forward to a vacation at her grandparents' cabin. She brought a few books she wanted to read, and I brought my fishing rod. Okay. She had no plans to entertain. My dad stopped by to go fishing. It was supposed to just be my dad stopping by for the day, but somehow my mom inserted herself, and I was shocked to see her. My wife had no plans to entertain her. I told my mom that, and my mom brought stuff for lunch and dinner and tried to engage with my wife, into making dinner for all of us, and my wife said no. She's relaxing and reading. If my mom wanted to cook, that's my mom's prerogative. My dad and I got back late, and at the table, my mom started to complain how she did all this herself. I looked at my wife, who just took her plate and ate in her bedroom. My mom started to complain to me about it, and I told my mom she technically wasn't invited, and my wife had no expectations to entertain her. It's my wife's cabin while my wife is on vacation. My mom started saying, well, she wouldn't have came if she knew that. I told my mom next time, take the hint. If you aren't invited, don't come. My parents left after dinner. My mom complained that my wife should have tried to be a gracious hostess, and I said maybe my mom should try not to be an unwanted guest. How is this person labeled as an asshole?
How the fuck?
Because you're just not an asshole.
Yeah. Like, I get some people are sympathetic with the old lady because, oh, she's so sad and lonely.
Yeah, the comments are all agreeing with us.
Yeah, what the Oh, the tube of sealant.
Mate, you're the asshole. Your first paragraph tells you you're the asshole. Your wife had a stressful time at work. The trip to the cabin is an escape for her. No finger lifting, no hosting. So what do? You invite your dad, knowing from past experiences your mom will likely jump in. Because as you say, she does things all the time. And then you leave the two of them to it, because you and your dad are gone fishing. But you two had a great time, and then you came back to find your wife, who has been made to feel uncomfortable and restricted in her own family's place. Again, knowing that your mom invites herself and behaves this way all the time, in quotations, drama ensues. How restful for your wife. You blame your mom for all of this. Get a few digs in. Dude, wipe the dirt and the denial off the mirror. That's you staring back at yourself. You're to blame.
Yeah, they're kind of both the asshole.
See...
From that angle.
See, here's the thing, right?
Well,
if I am on vacation with my wife, someone comes over to fish with me and then leave.
yeah.
If another person comes, the asshole's the person who let that other person come.
Fair. That's why I said she's the asshole for presumably making him drag her along because old people are old people.
See, the person who posted this is not the asshole.
Yeah.
The mom's an
not the
asshole
for that situation.
And the dad is the asshole.
Yeah.
The youngins, they did nothing wrong.
I'd argue definitely those two. I'd argue the poster is like an accidental asshole, almost.
I have resting bitch face, so what can I say? Going to the top, funnily enough, bad idea, because they're all marked as not or an asshole. Which makes it a little bit difficult to, guess think about it and shit, if I'm told what everybody thinks before I read it.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my fiance's friends that we aren't friends and to leave me alone? TLDR, I yelled at my girlfriend's friends that we'll never be friends and to leave me alone. So on December 1st, my fiance's friend, I don't know which one, hosted a holiday get-together. And I immediately did not want to go, but I kept it to myself because I know how much my fiance loves her girlfriends. I do not have a problem with her girlfriends, it's their partners that piss me off. For background, each of them have tried to connect with me or my best friend, or befriend me over the years, and each time I've shot them down as bluntly as possible. I have my own group of friends and I don't want more. I smile and keep everything surface level in person because I know my fiance loves get-togethers. On the first night we all met, we all exchanged numbers, and once they each tried to text me or call me, I blocked them. They added me on Snapchat and added me to their group chats. I again blocked all of them and left the group chat. They added me to a group chat on Instagram. Again, blocked them all. Left the group chat. Twitter, blocked. Facebook, blocked. Emails, blocked. Even here on Reddit, they're all blocked. They invite me to their boys' nights through my fiance. Stern, fuck no, every time. So, at the get-together, the 8 of us, me and 7 partners, sorry, are sat in the living room while the ladies cooked and talked. While the ladies doing all the cooking. They were in their own conversations about the election and football and whatever. I was just smiling and nodding. One of them makes a joke about me being quiet. I tried to laugh it off, but he kept pressing it, so I left and hid in the bathroom until the food was ready. True.
Fucking fair.
During the dinner, the partners kept digging into me as usual, trying to get me to open up, asking me about my work, my hobbies, my proposal story, wedding plans. I gave the same surface level answers as always, but for some reason they weren't having it. And then everyone except my fiance started yelling at me for some reason, saying that I'm such a prick, and what's wrong with me, and that I act like I'm better than them. So, obviously, I yelled back, here's a Sparks Notes version. I don't know them! I don't want to get to know them! Leave me the F alone! I don't know any of your names! I don't care to know any of your names! Friends-in-law isn't a thing! And that's just because our partners are friends doesn't make us friends! Using my forearm to make a line. This is a line! Stop trying to cross the line! Stop approaching the line! Back the F away from the line! Everyone stay arms lengths away from me! Then I threw the car keys on the table and took a lift home. When my fiance came home the following morning, she looked like she had been crying. I've never seen my fiance angry or disappointed or sad. I tried apologizing, but she called her dad to help her get stuff from our place. I have no clue where she's staying.
I'm sorry, just small interruption. If you haven't seen your fiance sad or angry or mad, you have not been together long enough to be a goddamn fiance.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I have no clue where she's staying. My calls go to voicemail. My texts are on delivered. Am I the asshole?
No. I mean, delivery, maybe not the best.
I think, after being told 8 times, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah.
You continue coming at me and then call me a prick.
It sounds like they were both perfectly direct and perfectly polite in their initial denials, which, of course, they're presumably, as most people should.
If there's no lying, you're not the asshole.
That is the big, golden rule of these videos, by the way. We have to, unless there's, violent evidence in the thing that the person's lying, we just have to assume that everything is truthful for these videos to work.
Yeah.
You can have your little theories in the comments below about how people were lying, though, and maybe we'll rate them or something.
Yeah, maybe that's a thing that'll work. I don't fucking know. Am I the asshole for having my 18-year-old daughter pay for her own feminine hygiene products? Now, son, the start of that doesn't... Well, I'm scared.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried.
My 18-year-old daughter graduated a week ago. She pays rent, splits the bills with me. I don't know about splitting the bills with an 18-year-old. Yeah. And pays for her own phone bill. She's a very independent young girl. As a 56-year-old woman, I'm at an age where I don't have a menstrual cycle anymore, so I don't buy the products. So it turned out to happen when she turned 18. What? So it turned out to happen when she turned 18, so it was as if we were perfect. Okay. My menstrual cycle ended as she turned 18. Cool. It was a perfect time to stop buying them, but even if she were under 18 and I didn't have this anymore, I would stop buying them as well. Since she's 18, I feel better about it, not having to go and buy them, since she's at that age where she's graduated and independent. My boyfriend somehow found out, and she's been using napkins she got at the grocery store. He said that he asked her why she bought 2 packs of napkins, and she explained that she needs them for personal use, and assumed it was for that. Pinecone. Baby.
Come on.
You can't tackle the table.
I'll give you some scritches. She scritched herself into falling over.
Yeah, she fell through the table.
Oh, get in my hand.
I didn't believe him at first until I asked her about it, and she explained to me that she makes homemade tampons by rolling the napkins. and she does it to save money. I have money myself, so I could go out and buy them for her, but she would need to pay me back. He asked me what I thought when I finished talking to her alone, and I said that he was right, and explained that she does it to save money. And he was furious and said that I should be providing those for her. I told him that I no longer buy them because I no longer use them. Because when I did, I would share. But now, especially because she's 18 and she can buy her own, I know she's my daughter, but the support has to stop sometime. The reason my boyfriend was so furious was because she got her thing and found out there were no products left. So she had to use napkins. And now she only uses those. This is her own issue to deal with. And she has no problem being self-sufficient. She's 18. Has been 18 for several months. Am I the asshole?
I think it depends, like, how much she's bringing in, but that's also heavily counterweighed by the fact that she's already charging rent and splitting bills.
Yeah. The first comment worries me. You're the asshole and you know why. You post about your wildly unhealthy relationship with your daughter repeatedly, and you're always voted the asshole. So just stop.
I see.
The OP has not responded to anything. They got told off, and that's it. I think you're... Is that the first asshole? Is that the first full asshole?
Yeah, that's full asshole.
Dude, asshole?
Unless, with the caveat, maybe the daughter's making like $3,000 a week or something.
Maybe she's an OnlyFans girl.
Exactly. Probably knows she's a millionaire. I mean, shit, maybe she didn't want to explain to her daddy that sometimes people want to buy napkins covered in cootie blood.
I'm sorry. Am I the asshole for making my girlfriend leave the country?
Bonus, am I the asshole? Here we go.
Holy shit. Oh, there's an original? This is the update? Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
Oh, baby. There's some lore. It's my first time posting to Reddit, so forgive any errors, or if the format's weird. I also can't give too many details, as my girlfriend and a lot of close friends are avid Redditors. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for 5 years. We met in college, where she was an international student. She started working after graduating, while I am currently doing a master's. Her company was sponsoring her visa until they got bought out and she got laid off. She was given a limited time to find her a new employer to sponsor her a new visa. And it really stressed her out. She was applying to jobs every day and did a lot of interviews, but unfortunately wasn't able to get an offer. She really wanted to stay since she loves the place, and I would still be here in the country. While I was out with a buddy, he suggested that I sponsor her visa. Since we have been in a relationship for quite some time, I love her and didn't want to see her so stressed out. I told her about the idea and she was hesitant. She said she didn't want me to think that she was with me so I could be her way to permanently resident or citizenship into the country. I wanted her to stay and I wanted to do it. We consulted an immigration consultant. You consulted a consultant. And decided to do the paperwork on our own. She was the one who mostly looked into the stuff we needed to prepare. She still applied for jobs, but not as urgently as she used to. Took a while since we never really had anything joint. We lived together and just split bills on our own. She had enough saved up to be okay for a while. I had to fill out some paperwork to be her sponsor, and I felt uneasy about it. I did want her to stay, but it felt like it was too much. Eventually, that's not a word. Eventually, she was done with her part, and all that was left was mine. I finally told her I didn't want to go through with it. She was very upset and asked why. I told her that I suggested the idea because I didn't want to see her stressed out all the time, that I eventually realized that I shouldn't have to be responsible for her. We had a long talk where I told her I still want to be in a relationship with her, but I just don't want to be forced to be responsible for her. She said she felt hurt by what I had said. Things changed and she didn't really talk to me after. She kept applying for jobs and attending interviews, but eventually her visa expired. Before she left, I told her I love her and that I would really want her to come back. However, she told me that she sees me differently after the things I told her. It's been a few weeks since she left. I miss her cooking, her presence, and being able to spend time with her. I still want a future with her. However, our close friends have been telling me that I was an asshole. I disagree and think they are biased, so here I am asking what Reddit thinks. Am I the asshole? There are multiple edits and updates after this. Yes. We're going to ask the question after each one. Is this person the asshole?
So far, I think so. Mm-hmm. Because it sounded like she was the entire time actively, like, applying and trying to find work. And like I said, assuming that she's, like, earnestly doing that. Definitely the asshole, especially if you love her that much. Like, I get it if you're, like, having trouble paying your own bills, but I don't believe he mentioned anything about that. So, yeah, that's definitely the asshole.
I think so far, asshole. Edit. I have read through a lot of comments on here, and everyone seems to think that I'm the asshole. To those asking what my responsibilities would be, I would have to be financially responsible for her for 3 years. If she gets any government assistance or social welfare, I would have to pay it back. I also can't sponsor anyone else until the 3 years have passed. Also, I listed what I missed about her in no particular order. I listed that I miss her cooking first, but it doesn't mean I don't miss her. To the people who said I'm probably an immigrant too, what does that have to do with anything? My parents moved to where we are now, so I'm here. Okay. I still stand by what I said. No one I know has to do anything like this. It just doesn't feel normal. I would want to eventually have a home with her, but I don't think anyone should have to be responsible for another person's decisions or their circumstances. It's just gaslighting if you convince someone that they should be. I don't know if anyone will see this edit since it has been a few days. I have updates, so I'll probably do a separate post there. So far, nothing's changed.
Definitely still the asshole. I had something else I was going to add on to that, but I forgot it.
The update. How much longer is this? Like a couple months, I think. Weeks? It's been a week. Not months. I talked to her over the weekend. She didn't have time to sell her car before leaving, so she contacted me saying she did some paperwork to transfer the car to me. I do understand that she felt hurt, so I told her that I would buy her a plane ticket to go see her. Buy her a plane ticket? That's not English. She had never once went back to her home country after moving away, so I've never visited her home country. I wanted to show that I'm very serious about her and that I am still committed, so I wanted to fly over and visit and talk things out. She immediately turns me down, saying that flight tickets are expensive and that I still have to work. I begged her to let me, and she eventually said that she couldn't forget the stuff that happened and that she couldn't come back from it.
Hey.
I explained my side again, and that while I understand that she is hurt, I shouldn't be forced to take responsibility for her, and that I hoped she would be understanding of that.
Definitely the asshole. But also, you know I get sunburned on my ride to work?
Yeah.
It's through my shirt and everything, too.
Yeah, we're gingers.
Oh.
The conversation was long. She said she would never trust me again. She said I never saw a future with her from the start and that I abandoned her. She said it wasn't just about the sponsorship, but it played a big part in it. In the end, she told me that she still loved me, but she doesn't think we should be together. To clarify a couple things, 1, why I didn't want to go through with sponsoring her. I would have to be financially responsible for 3 years. If she gets any government assistance or social welfare, I would have to pay it back, and I can't sponsor anyone else. Even though I listed that I miss cooking... Okay, yeah, that's the same stuff from then. Okay, yeah, that's the only update. Is this person... Yeah, you're just the asshole. 100%.
Unequivocally so.
We got 2 assholes there at the end.
I've seen some assholes, but getting the girl you claim to love kicked out of the country, that's a big old puckering one.
Oh yeah, that's like a big, stinky asshole. Hair's longer than mine. On that stinky ass. Not brown either. That shit's like green.
Yeah.
That's an asshole. Mm-mm.